Hey, digital investors, what is going on? Hope you're all having a great day and welcome back to another cryptocurrency video. We'll go over some of the stuff we're covering today. We're going to go over Philippine Central Bank embraces digital tokens, PayPal to allow merchants to accept cryptocurrency, according to aspirant managing director. We also have Bitcoin whale warning crypto traders about Bitcoin's current trajectory and rolls his eyes at bullish Bitcoin predictions. And Bitcoin's social sentiment level is at a new low, and could prices surge because of that? As we know, when we get into very fearsome times in cryptocurrency and the market looks like there is no hope, that's usually when it starts to turn around. Likewise, on the other end of the spectrum, when Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies are pumping and it seems like there's no way that they can come down and everyone is making money, that is also typically the point where the markets start to reverse. So we'll go over all that along with the prices, along with the fear and greed index, and yeah, see what's going on for today. I know I left you guys out of video for like 6 days. I've had some technical troubles, actually had to repair my mic and some issues with my laptop, but we are back and feels good to be back. So drop this video a like and let's get into it. Yeah, so the Philippine Central Bank sees digital tokens as a means to reduce the use of fiat money and improve the delivery of financial services in the country, even as the country is still studying its own digital currency. Philippine Central Bank Governor Benjamin Diokno said digital tokens, quote, expand reach and lessen costs of financial services, as well as reduce the use of fiat money. We do know that, so that's why it's not too surprising. We know Philippines is going to be doing big things with cryptocurrency. The BSP has said its study will look at the feasibility of potential policy implications of a CBDC. The country had already launched a blockchain-powered platform to distribute government-issued bonds. So really cool, guys. Philippines, they are definitely very crypto-friendly, and because of that, they're probably going to fare well. If we take a look at all of the countries right now that are adopting cryptocurrency, it doesn't have to be on a fast or rapid scale, but just the fact that they are adopting blockchain cryptocurrencies, I think you're going to see those countries fare much better than countries who don't. They're going to do a lot better than countries who ban cryptocurrencies and in a way kind of cut themselves off from the global markets. It's kind of like they're going to be chopping their own heads off without really realizing it, trying to balance out the pros and cons. Ultimately, banning cryptocurrency, I think, is going to act as a hindrance to oneself. Now, moving on, PayPal to allow merchants to accept cryptocurrencies. So we heard of this, I think a couple months back. I made a video on it, but now it's coming out again. So it's kind of like a double confirmation, which is really cool. So PayPal is working on incorporating cryptocurrencies into their business. Bragger says in a new interview on CNBC that the payments giant openness to crypto is one reason Aspirant views it as a favorable stock for investors. The other, she explains, is the pandemic's impact on commerce. She says it's at the forefront of all the e-commerce and digital payments, and we think that there's been a huge amount of demand as people have been staying at home, conducting commerce from their couch, from their beds, wherever they're hanging out. And we think that's going to continue as we move beyond this pandemic, ultimately, as people get out and about more and begin to resume more of a normal life. We also like that PayPal is working with merchants to bring crypto into the fold, and we think that that's going to be really important as more of the cryptocurrencies become more mainstream in the years ahead. In July, reports surfaced that PayPal was planning to announce a partnership with New York-based trust company Paxos to handle the supply of crypto assets once it launches cryptocurrency services. So guys, not really new news, might be new news to you, but we did know PayPal was looking at allowing services with cryptocurrencies. But what I like about this is it's a double confirmation. We heard it from PayPal, now we're hearing it from an investment company, from the managing director of that company. So this is very good stuff. Double confirmations are always good. Just lets you know, hey, it's not just PayPal talking about it, because a company can talk about what they want to do all they want, but if people aren't going to utilize it, right, if the service isn't valuable, then it doesn't really matter what the service is. If people just aren't going to use it, they're not going to use it. But the fact that they've said they're going to do these services, they're going to incorporate cryptocurrencies. We have other people now doing double confirmations, saying that they plan on also working with it. So that is really good. It looks like PayPal, eventually PayPal is going to offer cryptocurrency cryptocurrency services. Now, whatever those services look like, whether it's buying or selling or something else or something more, right? It doesn't matter. The adoption of cryptocurrencies is there. PayPal doing anything with cryptocurrencies, period, in my opinion, is very, very beneficial to cryptocurrency as a whole because of the market that opens us up to, and because of the market that PayPal has, and how easily all those people on PayPal are going to be able to tap in to cryptocurrencies and into blockchain. With that said, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you like daily cryptocurrency videos like the one you're watching now, we cover Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything going on in the crypto space. Try to keep you up to date. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you're notified when we upload. Now, coin prices for today, we have Bitcoin at 10,600, Ethereum at 347, XRP at 23 cents, and we'll do that for today. We'll stop at the top three. So those are your top three coins for today. The rest of the market is basically down. You know, we have Theta doing pretty well. Theta is doing really, really well right now. But for the most part, the rest of the market is just down. Fear and greed index for today, we're in fear. We're at 39. Yesterday we were at 43. Last week at 48, and last month at 75. So it's been a month since we've been in greed, but it's all right because we were in greed for quite a while. If you guys were positioned correctly, if you guys were here before that run up, you probably made some pretty good money. If you were buying on all those red days, weeks, and months beforehand, you probably made some pretty good money on this run up, right? And now we are seeing the pullback from that run, which is to be expected, right? Things don't go up in a straight line forever, and definitely not cryptocurrencies. I think people invest into cryptos. We know this best because we deal with it often with how volatile these markets are. Now let's go into Bitcoin Whale warning crypto traders about Bitcoin's trajectory. One of the wealthiest Bitcoin investors on record remains unconvinced that Bitcoin will rally anytime soon. So this is coming from Joe at Joe007 on Twitter. He put out a tweet. It says, idiots everywhere, but of course 11K plus Bitcoin would be such a better buy than 4K Bitcoin. Right. So we can see probably a little bit of sarcasm there. So he says a lot of people are expecting a down leg, but the question is, are they prepared to buy into a real dump, like a repeat of early March or worse? Let's just continue. He also goes on to say one day BTC will go up strongly, decisively, on high and growing volume. It will cut through the most fearsome resistance lines like a knife through butter, surprising all experts, and just continue to grow without retrace. Meanwhile, the trader who rarely shows fondness for coins other than Bitcoin is looking at Uniswap. The market cap of the DeFi token skyrocketed from around 50 million to 750 million. So it gained $700 million after its Coinbase Pro listing, and Joe thinks that the DeFi asset is priced beyond its fair value. He says Uni is overvalued by about 625 million. But going back to what his thoughts are about on Bitcoin, right? Saying that if there is a dump, right? Obviously you want to buy into that 4K Bitcoin dump rather than buying right now at 11K plus. And there's definitely a valid argument to that for sure. Probably the most common strategy, the strategy that most of you guys are probably doing, especially if you're looking for a safe way to invest in cryptocurrency and make good money over the long term, is DCAing, right? So when you see something like this, and you're dollar cost averaging and you're buying Bitcoin up here at 11K, it might make you feel some type of way, right? Like, oh, should I be buying Bitcoin up here at 11K? And to me, the answer is it's totally fine to be buying Bitcoin at 11K as long as you are also buying Bitcoin when it does drop down to those lower levels. When it does go down to 4K, are you still going to continue to buy Bitcoin? Because the thing is, right, is that dollar cost averaging only works if you also buy when the prices are low. If you only buy when you feel good, you're not gonna do well, right? Well, could you make money? Absolutely. You could always lose money as well. And again, guys, none of this is financial advice. This is just stuff that I've learned that hopefully it helps you. But if you're going to DCA, make sure you DCA and buy when it is low. If anything, it is more crucial to be buying when it is low. I don't follow a traditional DCA strategy. When prices are lower, I am dollar cost averaging more than usual, and when prices are higher, probably above 10K, I'm dollar cost averaging less than usual. There's many variations that you can make to a dollar cost average strategy, but I'd say the most important one is, and the most simple one is, like, right, let's say you're putting in $10 a week, just for simplicity. Always put in the $10 a week, no matter how low the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are, because when you're buying those low prices when they don't feel good, ultimately that is what gets your dollar cost average down the most. Whereas if you miss out on those opportunities, you'll never really get a lower dollar cost average. Your dollar cost average is going to be on the higher end because you accumulated at higher prices. So if you're buying right now as part of a DCA strategy, there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that if we do have a drop down to 4K, because it could totally happen. I don't know why people are so confident. Even me, I think, we could very well be in the start of a Bitcoin bull market, right? We could also very well go through a massive economic downturn, and Bitcoin goes down the toilet with it, right? There is no guarantee to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency's success. Now we can do some research and we can find a lot of things that point to it likely is the answer we are looking for, and it will likely perform well, but there are no guarantees in investing, and you must humble yourself and you must accept that, because the second you start to think you know it all is the second you start getting wrecked. Other than that, the other thing I want to count on for any of you guys who are seeing, like, let's be real, these prices are dipped, right? And I'm sure a lot of people have lost money now, right? People who are buying Bitcoin at 11K, at 12K, maybe I'm sure a lot of people are breaking even right now with Bitcoin at 10,000. People love to buy Bitcoin between 9,500 and 10,500 is what I've seen. It's a great FOMO area for Bitcoin, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably sitting on just break even levels and things like that. But so the main thing I want to point out is, keep in mind that this Bitcoin whale also says one day Bitcoin will go up strongly, decisively, on high and growing volume. It will cut through the most fearsome resistance lines like knives through butter. So in the long term, Bitcoin is cool. It's good. That's why, hey, if you're buying at 11K and you're buying at 4K, you're good on a DCA strategy. And it also goes to show, if we do get another leg down and you're a DCA, your dollar cost averaging, buy when it is low, because we can see almost everybody who invests into cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and everything like that, almost all of them, they all think long term Bitcoin is going to do, crazy moves, right? 100K Bitcoin is what a lot of people, what you will hear a lot of people say. A lot of them still believe it, which goes to show, if you just DCA now and wait, you're most likely going to be in a very good spot, because go ask people who dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin starting even just 4 years ago. They're in a pretty good spot right now. With that said, let's move on to Bitcoin social sentiment level is at a new low, and could prices surge off of that? Okay, so Santiment noted that as Bitcoin crossed above 11,000 for the first time since September 3rd, the asset sentiment, such as mentions, hashtags, and comments on Twitter, fell surprisingly to an all-time low. The firm used a proprietary method that calculated Bitcoin's overall volume of mentions and weighted them against positive and negative commentary on the platform. This is their tweet. They say, as BTC has crossed above 11K, the sentiment of Bitcoin on Twitter is surprisingly at an all-time low, according to our weighted calculation that takes into account the overall volume of Bitcoin mentions. The firm added, negative sentiment at extremely low levels correlates with price rises, whereas extreme highs correlate with price retracements, indicating that Bitcoin's prices may see a leg upwards in the coming weeks if historical data were to be considered. Meanwhile, sentiment data from crypto analytics firm Vechain, another on-chain provider, also shows Bitcoin showing bullish action in both short and mid-term trades. The chart below maps the long-term sentiment score, with Bitcoin's price showing the latter has just begun to catch up with the public perception of the pioneering digital asset. Bitcoin still has not converged to the long-term public sentiment. A gap remains, showing BTC is undervalued according to this particular metric. Meanwhile, additional metrics show the Twitterverse is starting to be less concerned about Bitcoin's price. Tweet dominance is 42% even as prices go up. This can be attributed to the rise of Ethereum, DeFi, and DEX-based altcoins in recent weeks, with the trio featuring massive retail interest after some tokens surged 1,000x in a few days. So, kind of going back to what we said earlier when we were talking about this fear and greed index, right? When we are very low in fear, typically that is the point where we will reverse and slowly over time get back into greed. And by the time we are back into greed again, we will start to reverse and go back into fear. The problem is that most people, right, like when we're in fear down here, most people are not buying. They want nothing to do with cryptocurrencies. They're mainly out of the market. As Bitcoin starts to rally, they're not really looking. By the time it gets to a price point, by the time it kind of recovers, by that point, probably maybe we're in neutral, we're in a little bit of greed, some low greed, and retail comes and they just start buying it up and buying it up. At this point, smart money has already accumulated all in here. Retail is buying all in here, pushing us into this greed. And once we're maxing out greed at 70, 80, 90% greed, your smart money is selling into your retail. And then by the time Bitcoin starts dropping, retail's flying out, we're back into fear, and retail's out of the market again. They're not looking, and smart money accumulates all this fear again, and then pushes into greed, and it's rinse and repeat over and over and over and over. And eventually you either become smart money or you just stay dumb money forever. You just never learn from your mistakes. You never make a trading plan or investing plan. You just continuously invest emotionally, and you continuously get wrecked. And maybe sometimes you make money, but for the most part, you're just kind of losing. And that's why it's so important to educate yourself, guys. Learn as much as you can. Learn about investing, learn about Bitcoin, research these things, and prepare yourself, right? Because making money in crypto isn't as easy as just buying Bitcoin and selling it a month later. It's a lot more than that. So with that said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop it a like, and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we upload. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I'll see you all on the next video.